As always, thanks for joining me. Today we are going to be looking at the Bohning Pro Class fletching tool. I bought this thing because I bought a whole bunch of Ted Nugent arrows, and the first time I took them out to shoot them, I had a couple veins pop off. They didn't get torn or anything like that, they just popped right off. So I decided I've already been wanting to do my own fletching. Seems like that's the thing you got to get into, right? So being that I needed 3 arrows to have the veins put back on, I figured I might as well just try it. So I ended up buying this after a little bit of research. I think this is kind of what I wanted in a budget-minded fletching tool. I didn't want to buy a Bitzenberger, spend over $100 on it. I felt like this has a lot of the same functions of it. So let's get into it. So I bought this thing in a right helical, and you can buy it in right, left, or straight. I ended up buying this one in right. Here's what it comes with. It's got a little bit of an instruction kit right here. It comes with these inserts so that you can do 3 fletch or 4 fletch. It comes with a stand, and it comes with your vein holder. Now this one here is for the right, and I ended up also buying the left. So let me tell you about a few of the pros to this thing. I'm a Michigan boy, so these things, I can't say that they're made here, but their company, Lake City, Michigan. That's a bonus for me, being a Michigan boy. So one of the cool things that I like about this is, like some of the ones like the Arizona, you're going to buy and it only fletches one direction. With this, like I said, I bought it with the right kit, but I bought the left kit. I didn't, which is just this additional clamp. I didn't have to buy a whole new setup or anything like that, so that's cool. You can also buy the straight. So for me, that was a huge bonus. I can go left or right helical. The other thing with this is that it accepts all sorts of different vein sizes. So you can put in your simple little blazer vein, this AAE Max vein, or some super long veins. I mean, you can put up to probably a 5-inch vein in here. So I really like that. One of the other features that it does have, and I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this on camera, is it has hash marks here. And what that's going to allow you to do is for you to set your point where you're going to want your veins for every single time. So you can set that. You can kind of see here I put a mark. That way I know exactly where I can set that every time. For me, that's where I'm going to put it from my nock, where the start point of the vein is. I've got a lot of facial hair, in case you didn't notice, and I definitely don't want to get any face contact with one of those veins. So that's where I'm going to be starting. It also gives you the option here of 0 offset, 2 degrees left and 2 degrees right. You can swap those out. Also, it comes with the option to switch this plate out here so that you can put 3 or 4 fletch veins on, which is really cool. Great options on this thing. It isn't all plastic, essentially entirely plastic, with exception of the magnet and this steel plate on the back here. But it's a really strong, heavy-duty plastic. Does not feel cheesy or cheap at all. So I'm super happy with that. So with that being said, we're going to do a little testing. I'm going to end up fletching 1 arrow with a left helical and 1 arrow with a right helical, and we'll just go through that process right now. So the first thing you're going to do is it has a U and an O, and what I believe that to be is for your cock vein up or cock vein out. So mine is going to be up. So it's got that hash that has that line going across there. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide this in with your nock there, and that's going to put my cock vein up, or if I wanted it out, we'd go there. Then we're going to take our jig here. I've already marked where I want my vane to start, and I'm going to simply put my vane in there, right at that spot. And we're going to lay down a thin line of glue. And then we just bring our clamp in, and then we're going to bring this and butt this up against here. Make sure our arrow is fully pushed in. Push down for a few seconds. Using these wonderful ice cream cone napkins here that we got on the table. Get a little bit of residual glue hanging off the bottom. Let that sit for just a couple seconds, and then we're ready to take our clamp off. Slide that right on off. I always like to take and make sure I wipe this down, make sure I've got any glue, excess glue off of there. And we're ready to make our first turn. Hold everything. Repeat the same process 3 times. And our third click. I'm going to move that glue off real quick. Oh, that glue dries quick. And like that, we've got one arrow done with our left helical there. This is one downfall. I'm not going to call this necessarily a con, but just a downfall, a room for improvement, and I'm going to have my own improvement that I'm going to do to it, and I'll show that here in just a minute, is all these dash marks, and even here, it's hard to see, but it says the word left right there. You can't even see that because it all blends in. Along with here where it says 2 degrees left and 2 degrees right, you can't see those things, and that's partially because it's just all molded out of plastic here. So we're right now at 2 degrees left. We're going to swap this, loosen this knob and this knob, and we're just going to swap these back to a 2 degree right. And the cool part is that they have movement in here, so you could probably do, I've got to guess 3 to 4, maybe even 5 degrees if you really wanted to. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. It isn't the prettiest thing, but it gets the job done. I tried using a Sharpie, but you need a fine point Sharpie, and you need a good source of light so you can actually see exactly where you need. And you're just going to trace those words out. Trace those words and lines. It's going to be a whole lot easier to see everything. So that's what we're going to do. So way better. You can actually see these on camera, so it's my little Jeremy rig and hack on that. Overall, I think these things work out really well. Super excited to get out. We're going to go out and shoot. So the Bohning Pro Class jig gets a thumbs up for me. It's really my first time doing any fletching. I think this thing made it super simple for me. I think it gives me a lot of different options for left, right, and straight helicals. Gives you options for different offsets. Gives you 3 and 4 vane options. I think it comes in at a really nice budget point. So overall, I think this is a really great option if you're looking to start fletching your own arrows. It's made it super easy for me, and definitely going to be doing that in the future. So if you're not using this jig, I'd love to know what jig are you using. So put that in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.